so we have some whiteboard materials. It says on the side, I'm gonna spin the wheel, but actually I'm gonna show you some questions on the board. And your job is to write a complete sentence answer. So you will answer the question with a complete sentence in Spanish, and we're not really gonna see sentence starters. We're gonna try to just think about using words from the question in our response. Is it total, are they completely dead?
Yeah.
Okay, because two of the other ones are like that too, but then I have one that doesn't work, so let's see. Test it out.
These are hip too. Probably just a
Alright, so a que hora empieza el colegio? So how could you make a sentence to respond to that? So we're using some words in our response. Maybe you'll start with the word yo. Maybe you'll start with el colegio. Either one could work. Okay, so if you start with yo, we have to have an O at the end. Yo empiezo el colegio a las 8 menos 5. If you said 7:50, that's totally fine. But a reason why you might have an A at the end of this is because some of you said el colegio empieza. Then it's okay to have an A. Right.
El colegio empiezo.
No, so if you said el colegio, we're gonna say empieza with an A at the end. Or say yo empiezo. Alright, this question is kind of similar. Instead of empieza, I want to know about termina. So think about what that's asking. Peyton and Sunana, are you guys going to be on your way? Do you want to just return the materials to the front and then you are going to be passed for me? Are you going to? Okay, sounds good. I heard them talking around it. You are too. Oh my gosh, there's all these all alone in here, you guys.
No, wait.
What's happening?
No.
Yes, that's good. Oh, Trace.
Are you a jerk?
Were we talking about dose and dosing? Someone that was sitting here, my sons are, I think we were talking about dose and dosing. So that's a Trace and Tracy, T-R-E-S. Yes. I heard that they have to take pictures today too.
I think that's just the boys.
Oh, just the
I'm not
boys,
sure.
never mind. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, you can shut it, yeah.
Is everyone sick?
Hello. There's some people that are marked ill, but then other people, I think some ninth graders left earlier and the boys left during 7th hour, so I don't know, we're just.
There's
a lot going on.
nobody here.
So with my folks that are here, yo termino, I end. If you said el colegio termina, that's okay too. Did anyone write dosi cincuenta? You like to write that? If you wrote that, that's totally fine. You can say that as well. But we talked about with our writing, we wanted to write out the numbers, and so this is a good example of being able to write it out so you can say it tomorrow. All right, another a que hora, but now we want to know about el almuerzo. What is el almuerzo?
Lunch.
And fun fact, you have A lunch, it's 10:35, B lunch is 11:20, and C lunch would be 12:05. Try to write a sentence. Yo, yeah, you can say that. Okay, so my example is up here. It could be different than what you have, and I'll talk about some other possibilities. So, el almuerzo es a las 11:20. Mi almuerzo es a las 11:20. That would work. If you said tengo almuerzo a las 11:20, that's okay. Maybe you said el almuerzo and you tried to say begins. That's when I would use empieza with an A, because I'm not, or if you say I begin lunch, oh, you've got another combo there. Yeah, that's okay too. Yo empiezo el almuerzo a las 11:20. Tango, yeah, that's good. So there's lots of different ways you can say things. I've tried to give a lot of variety, but if you have a question, let me come to your desk. Okay, so here's our middle chunk of 3 questions. This one's asking you about clases. ¿Cuántas clases? Friendly little reminder, right? ¿Cuántas clases tienes por día? And then if you can't come up with a complete sentence, maybe you can come up with some part of an answer. I mean, that would be a way to, show some of your proficiency. Maybe you're not secure when you can come up with a full sentence, but if you had part of a sentence, that's still okay to show what it's asking. So complete sentence would be, yo tengo 8 clases por día. If you just say tengo 8 clases, that's good. If someone said 8 clases, that's still communicating, right? That's okay if you say that. It's just not a complete sentence, so it wouldn't be as secure, but that's better than not being able to say anything, right? All right, ¿quién? What does the word ¿quién mean? Ooh, yeah, so ¿quién es tu profesor favorito y por qué, right? Por qué is 2 little words, means why. If we make it 1 big word, it means because. If you're thinking about what you wrote on your writing test, that's okay if you write something, or you say something kind of similar to what you wrote, that would be all right. So, ¿cuál es tu profesor favorito? ¿Por qué? Why? Yeah, this is where we kind of think of some adjectives that describe people. So mine was, I said, mi profesor favorito es señor Pro, porque es cómico. I think words like amable, divertido, interesante, trabajador, those are other words that I've seen people, include. All those are great ways to describe someone. Alright, so maybe who you wrote about for your profesor favorito, maybe that's the same clase you're thinking of for your clase favorita. ¿Qué es tu clase favorita? So using some words in the question, you might start it like this. If you use me gusta, that's perfectly fine also. I like English because I like art because, right? Fácil, maybe, is divertido or interesante, would those be other words to describe a class? Let's say I wrote a sentence like this, that would be secure. If I wanted to add something else, that would be a way to be secure plus or exceeds. John, go ahead.
Do you say clase or the asignatura?
Oh, either one is fine. Yeah, if you say asignatura favorita, that's totally fine. I think the questions that I have prepared, I use the word clase, so I'll say that, but you can say whatever you want back to me. So let's say someone says, mi clase favorita es arte porque es espacio. Could they say, I don't know, me gusta dibujar in la clase de arte? Would that be like another like supporting detail for that? So if they had an extra sentence that kind of supported their favorite class and why, something they do in that class, that would be secure plus, and if they did that for all 3 questions, then that would be exceeds. Okay, if you add something to all 3 of your responses. Alright, we're gonna do a couple of prefieres. What does prefieres mean? Do you prefer? So prefieres la clase de ciencias o la clase de arte? You just have to make a choice. There's not a right or wrong answer. I just want you to come up with a complete sentence. So if we're gonna use yo, our verb's gonna have an O at the end, so maybe you could say yo prefiero. You could say me gusta, right? That's another way to say I like. Could I add porque onto this, and that could be a way to lengthen my sentence? Alright, prefieres la clase de matemáticas o la clase de español? So I use la clase de. If you said yo prefiero español, that's okay. That's fine, right? Yo prefiero la clase de español. Asignatura de español. That's okay. Last one, prefieres la clase de inglés o la clase de estudios sociales?
Cerrone, please come to the office. Mateo Cerrone, please come to the office.
Alright, so you get to choose the subject you want to answer with, but we're just trying to practice those complete sentences. And saying a complete sentence like I had on the slide for each one, that would be secure. Adding a little more, right? There's not just one extra detail to say. There's a lot of different things you can say, but doing that consistently for all 3, that would be someone that would try to get exceeds or be able to earn exceeds. If we did it for 1 or 2, then we have secure plus. In just a bit, okay? Alright, so we're going to erase our whiteboards and try to pile the materials, just put them in the corner of the desk, and I'm gonna come back to get those. Right now, one person is gonna scan that QR code, you or your neighbor,